Okay, we're going to look at graphing a linear inequality, and a linear inequality in two variables is similar to the standard form of an equation, except instead of having an equal sign, so we have ax plus by and c, but instead of equals in between here, you have some inequality sign. So it could be greater than, it could be greater than or equal to, it could be less than or less than or equal to. So any of these inequality symbols means you're graphing a linear inequality. So to graph a linear inequality, the first thing that you need to be careful with is that if you have a greater than or a less than symbol, you need to graph your line as a dashed line because all your solutions go up to the line, but they're not actually on the line, so that dashed line shows that. If you have a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to, so if you have that equal sign, then it can equal a point on the line, and so you graph with a solid line. Okay. The next thing when you're graphing a linear inequality is to graph just like you would if it had an equal sign instead of inequality. So graph just like if it was an equation, and by that I mean with an equal sign. So you could find the intercepts and graph. You could use y equals mx plus b and graph using the slope and y-intercept. You just need to graph it. The only difference so far is that you either have a dashed or a solid line. Now, since it's an inequality, you have a range of values that work, and you need to see whether you need to shade above or below the line. So you need to pick a test point that does not lie on the line. So test a point to see whether you shade above or below the line. If I can, I pick the point 0, 0. So if your line doesn't go through the point 0, 0, test that because that's just easy to plug in and test. So if you test it and you get a true statement, so you get something like 2 is less than 3, that's true, that's where you shade. If you get a false statement, so if you test your point and it's false, for example, 2 is greater than 1, which is false, then you shade on the other side of the test point. And I'll show you this with an example.